This is Bombali District in the Northern Region.
Warm and hearty greetings. This is Global Multimedia Online TV Daily Room News presenting happenings and issues making the news here in the Northern Region headquarters. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. With me, your presenter, Idrissa Jerry. Bondo and poor secret society are beliefs and central ideology of our countrymen and women, which according to the tradition and culture of Sierra Leone and most parts in Africa, see the need to send in their male or female child to be trained, nurtured, observe cultural rights and obligations in these societies. In contrary, a girl child and women-led organization, Girl Child Network Sierra Leone, in partnership with Canada Fund for Local Initiative, are currently rolling out capacity training and strengthening support service on sexual gender-based violence and female genital mutilation. To know more about this, let's join our SGBV and FGM correspondent in the ground, Aissatou Daniela Kamara.
What is your understanding about sexual and gender-based violence?
Female genital mutilation is a worldwide crisis which women and girls face on the basis of honoring traditional norms and cultural practices. This, as a result, had led to medical instability and loss of millions of lives of the victims during the process and sometimes old age complications.
No postman and rape. When the man say attire. Respect the person in view. Honor respect in view. And gender equality in the first person.
Gender-based violence, on the other hand, had been a persistent address issue which several organizations had come together to see how best they can discourage and to a large extent to eliminate people from such acts.
On behalf of the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs, I want to extend thanks and appreciation to the community of practice for such a laudable and intimate way they have organized. For the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs, we get the mandate for promote, protect, uphold and defend the welfare of women and girl people. But we're not going to do as a ministry alone. We need una. You know, everybody there, we need una for help with. And that's going to give it strength. If we all put our hands together.
In order to aid this fight, the Girl Child Network Sierra Leone, in partnership with Canada Fund for Local Initiative, had held a capacity building training to strengthen support services on sexual and gender-based violence at the Sierra Leone Teachers Union here in Makeni.
But still lady, 5-year-old, 2 or 3 times they don't rape them and they don't kill them. And they wait for me and say go under the valleys. So picking on you, CFN, you are the work for organization, be careful. I don't know if conclave will join or the quality team will be. But if they are not kill yourself, God will kill you with your conscience. We come back. Indecent assault, touching, sexual without consent. 5 years. The fine a minimum of 5 million or go 5 years.
SGBV and FGM cannot be curbed in an isolation. It requires many hands on decks. Girl Child Network called on active and staunch partner in the fight, like Community of Practice COP, Family Support Unit FSU, Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs, Rainbow Initiative, Children Forum Network Bombali, Campaign for Good Governance, and many more to be capacitated and strengthened in the ways and manner in the fight of SGBV and FGM.
And we thank God for being part and parcel of this workshop. Anyway, it benefits we will don't come today. We not go say the same again because we don't have a lot. I want to thank the pioneers of this workshop where we don't have land today. I want to tell them thank you, especially for we are already we don't have India with this afternoon.
We sit down there, you go to school, but not to school they go. You go to to a boyfriend. And when he go to a boyfriend, later on, he go back to school. He go tell the party say, "Me, I don't get one man where they spend from you." And straight away, now begin and another one man the way they spend from you. Straight away, he said, "Don't casual and they for me enter and the game." Then the back door enter and the game. Instead go to the same man or to other man. In back go to other man. So like they all long day at the same class, they all learning at the same side. So like that we have influence, you know, it cause SGBV. And also we say culture, belief and norms.
Number one, we say lack of self-knowledge. All they tell what they go for like the community there, whether they talk about self-knowledge, I mean SGBV, because of not getting the knowledge, not getting down to how. Because if I know say me and my partner will work together and I for help the woman pass some of the things the way they happen at host, and even if the woman get right to make decision. So like if you lack them concept then they now the society is automatically it creates a problem. So we get the poverty. This then are the key, the major problem what they affect you. Even though they talk about SGBV, if you see this one example is not able to solve SGBV. Meaning, let me say if Pastor Antigi one go bypass to that became, and let me say that became pregnant them poor. And Pastor Antigi they say the only way where they able to tap with that because they able deal with that picking now where he help out about his school business and he help about the livelihood of the parents.
The training was interactive as different organizations represented were divided into groups to have a clear instinct of their views on the causes leading to gender-based violence, barriers for women participation, and the disadvantages women experienced going through FGM. The program climaxed with an advice and motivation from the founder and director for Girl Child Network Sierra Leone, Madam Anita Kuroma.
So, man desire, not go imprison yourself. You go mortgage your freedom for sake of 5 minutes enjoyment.
Reporting for Global Multimedia Online TV Daily Home News, I am Aisatu Daniela Kamara.
The Old McKinney Franciscans Association, OMFA, has championed a week-long celebration of the 62nd years of the St. Francis Secondary School in McKinney. This celebration was followed up with a lot more developmental project presentation to the management of the school, like the newly constructed 21 classrooms building, the newly constructed school hall, newly constructed academic staff building specifically for science teachers, tap water facility provision, among others. The prize-giving activity that was held at the school compound attracted many dignitaries in the government cabinet, both ministers and members of parliament, past pupils, etc. The Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary School Education, David Moina Senge, served as the guest of honor. Here is a highlight of this auspicious event.
Okay. Thank you. A big clap.
Allow the fancy into the living room, the dining hall. So,
dining room, I go eat.
In another development, Girl Child Network Sierra Leone continues expanding the capacity of different players that will aid the fight against SGBVs and FGM in the northern region, and by extension, the country at large. Today has hosted community actors like the traditional leaders, religious leaders, youth leaders, parents and guardians. This, according to the implementing partners, GCN, is to educate and raise the awareness of negative effects of FGM and SGBV. Marie Thorley, our reporter, was there and files in this report.
The river banks are filled with tears. The hills and valleys re-echo the cry of our ancestors, and the mountains weep in reply to the despicable act of gender-based violence and female genital mutilation. Issues and challenges around gender-based violence cannot be overemphasized, as the data keeps increasing in a daily occurrence. The need to capacitate, strengthen, and work with unified and solid strategical approach is keen, which has necessitated capacity building to stakeholders like religious leaders, traditional leaders, youth leaders, and more in Bombali district, with funding from the Canada Fund for Local Initiatives, implemented by Girl Child Network Sierra Leone here in Bombali district.
Sexual gender-based violence in our community. Not all this number we start today, we don't deep now. We got 53 community. Now 10 community we just choose for CC. We train them on FGM and sexual gender-based violence. We don't want tap them. We say we get stakeholder them. We don't have DTBR them. We know say at the end of this session today, we will get concrete actions then where we go back in our community then, and we as Girl Child Network will monitor the community here for this what you can talk here and agree here today.
Beneficiaries of this training who were part of this engagement expressed their impression about the day-long engagement.
We really are very happy for Canada today for meet up this like first time today for meet up that kind of program today, especially when it concerns the sexual gender. For the women, for them picking the girl picking the arm. So we don't learn enough. I don't learn but put in the inside before say something they have been doubt and not understand. We concern this thing where they do them bond of business they do and they picking there. As imams, you know, for say we there for deliver the message there. So anything we receive, we need for transfer to the people then take to the last section to let people understand for say this one. If before say na tiwe before say they do and try because this they call a mutilation. Because the way a man or people they do now and the way how as Muslim, how Prophet will say love to if are different.
For me, my experience what can be especially about this workshop what I get. We woman them because they say gender. If you woman now in they do all the work there na house. When let's come and retire. If you ask them for anything like something like my man that the business the woman not able. Not force her, not waiting for let all you beat her or you fet her for that day. Now for tell the woman say, hey, but I want this so but you not agree. Let the understanding they you the man self as a daddy na house, not left all thinking you woman, help you woman so that you now go able to move forward. All waiting and can't teach me now sitting in this workshop. I feel proud, I feel belong because like especially that FGM area, me not to be a victim to that need, and I'm not going to ever be a victim, a beginner not going to be a victim. And the community will say, I will talk to the woman say, if you begin to but who marry them now really poor, and be them will be essential. They make but who marry them poor because that woman will go bono, that woman will go bono. Now two different people there, and now the man and the girl chance for the woman will not go bono. And yeah, advantage get disadvantage, but for me. As the woman, I prefer for that day and not go bondo than I go bondo. because the complications.
Madam Anita Koroma is the founder and coordinator of Girl Child Network Sierra Leone. She speaks more in this interview.
Basically, me na pikin wey born from the province, na offline na born na Yago. I only looking for myself na for further education and begin for work. But at the end of the day, all the bad things that may happen to girl pikin, I see I'm around, they happen to me as well. In terms of sexual gender-based violence, the violence in the sense they not abuse me sexually because me, when they born me, I'm not forced to born before I come down. So one more imago now we always see one go try and do the finger the other picking the way they do yes for me and they go in one church me now they can slap and go on and go. Now me make I run away shame me left those up to this new cycle. So my activism starts from there. Say I don't want suicide and disadvantage and picking. Them men picking their way and they starve then they sleep in the kitchen and they go fetch food. With me granny, only me granny, and they make you glad that you will be back to it. And the voice for me can be a voice of nature, meaning as you read that they share my story, I suffer cyst, red blow off the gut, past England and we will be finance, you cannot be born, you cannot be born, because they block you. All the pain they will suffer after we they don't motivate to my life, I experience, I don't get mine for born. True. The one people who are born now out of pain I don't meet up now. The community stakeholders then they don't vow. Then you go talk, they don't invite you back no go now the communities. We the things say the more we educate ourselves, we understand, we discuss the issue. Now the more we are able to do things then for change. But if you don't know what's in the affect, you don't know the issues, allow the community. So now that's what they engage.
Global Multimedia Online TV and Maritally reporting.
As today clocks the last day of the 16 Days of Activism 2020, Daughters of Zion Enterprise organized a parade against and to end all forms of gender-based violence in Makeni City and the country. This marching exercise started from NP here in Makeni to the Makeni City Council Hall, where a program was organized to sensitize and preach in accordance to the elimination and eradication of these devilish acts of penetration, rape, and a lot more. Let's have an insight of this event.
When you look around the world, you see a lot of war, a lot of violence going on. You talk about rebel war, which Sierra Leone and also when Mansari was amputated. Our president then, Dr. Ahmed Tijan Kaba, used Adam Mansari in the United Nations to call for peace and to show the semblance of violence in Sierra Leone. Today, that young lady,
I cover 5 districts. All Texas police officers, we are charged with the responsibility to investigate and prosecute all cases of sexual abuse, physical abuse, domestic violence, all across trafficking and cruelty against women and children in this country. The reason why we are here today, this is the end of the 16 days activity, and And now holidays are coming, you are going back to your parents, homes, here. My own advice here to you, in the first place, as you are responsible for the investigation and prosecution of cases surrounding sexual violence against you, your women, and as I'm seeing all of you here, I mean, women dominated the whole thing here.
The United Nations women of the United Nations General Assembly. Therefore, Mr. Yaya Kabu, representing the Ministry of Social Welfare, on behalf of your director, I humbly present.
I stand on all existing protocol, and I want to use this opportunity to thank Daughters of Zion Enterprise for such a laudable venture that will promote, protect, uphold, defend, and fulfill the rights of women and girls in this part of the country. This one is extremely laudable. We are going to take it into full consideration. I see it. Today is the last day for the 16 days of activism. We started it on the 25th of November 2020, and today, the 10th of December 2020, marks the end for the 16 days of activism. The 16 days of activism is 16 days of advocacy against all forms of violence against women and girls.
Which means the same now. I'm human being. You don't know. When they talk about Daughters of Zion in my great city, who are the Daughters of Zion? You or not you? Not to those that wear polo. Now you. This organization is your own. Do you understand?
Wow, I've benefited a lot. Beneficiary in the sense not by money or by things or by gifts. My benefit there is that it has created an impact in my life. Like I can say, there are things that I don't know when I was not part of them. So there are things that I don't know, but now I know them. Like the beneficiary acts like stop doing what is not right, stop sexual penetration. If men come to us for sexual penetration, we don't allow them. Like below the age of 18 years is a sexual penetration, and above is let me say rape. So these are the things that we have benefited a lot of them. They have impact knowledge on us, how to run our schools and also environment.
My name is Aisatu Dalanda Jalo. I'm attending the Sylvanus Municipal Junior Secondary School, Makeni. I'm a member in the Daughter of Zion Club. I have to go and tell my colleagues that sexual penetration is not good and you have to avoid teenage pregnancy. You have to focus on your education. I have learned a lot of things in this club, so I have to go and advise my colleagues.
My name is Yamo Awuni Lawal from the Several Junior Secondary School. One suggestion is you should avoid the sexual penetration, and to prevent yourself from that, when you are passing along the road, you should avoid walking like, you should avoid wearing short trousers, wearing skin tights and short things. I have to go and tell my colleagues a lot because when I enter into this club, Daughters of Zion, I learn a lot about it.
This is all we have time for in today's edition of Global Multimedia Online TV Daily Home News. Don't forget to follow us and subscribe to our social media platform. I have been your presenter, Idris Ajeri. Have a delightful night. Cheers.
And this is Global Multimedia Online TV.